Student, today we have a final exam, grade 2. I wish you a good luck. Today I'm gonna read the exam for you like with the last exam. I want from you get a piece of paper and write your name in good handwriting and write the numbers of the questions and numbers of the answer, or write your answer on it. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم لا سهلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إن شئت سهلا. في هذا الامتحان سوف أقرأ لكم الأسئلة حتى تكون واضحة لديكم، ولكن أحتاج منك عزيزي الطالب أن رجاء كتابة اسمك على ورقة بخط واضح وجميل، وكتابة رقم السؤال ورقم الإجابة أو الإجابة على سطر، وكل سؤال على سطر وإجابته بجنبه. بسم الله. Number 1. Choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. What you like. What فراغ you like. What space you like. Number 1 does, number 2 do, number 3 did. Number 1 does, number 2 do, number 3 did. Question 2. I space فراغ balloons. I space فراغ balloons. Number 1 like, number 2 likes, number 3 doesn't like. Number 1 like, number 2 likes, number 3 doesn't like. Question 3. What space فراغ she like. What space فراغ she like. Number 1 do, number 2 does, number 3 did. Number 1 do, number 2 does, number 3 did. Choice 4. Questions 4. Questions 4. She space فراغ chocolate. She space فراغ chocolate. Number 1 like, number 2 don't like, number 3 doesn't like. Number 1 like, number 2 don't like, number 3 doesn't like. Questions 5. I space فراغ a book. I space فراغ a book. Number 1 read, number 2 go, number 3 help. Number 1 read, number 2 go, number 3 help. Question 6. I فراغ cake. I space فراغ cake. 1. Choice. Your choices. Number 1 like, number 2 likes, number 3 doesn't like. Number 1 like, number 2 likes, number 3 doesn't like. Question 7. We space فراغ present. We space فراغ present. Number 1 don't like, number 2 doesn't like, number 3 don't likes. Number 1 don't like, number 2 doesn't like, number 3 don't likes. Questions 8. She space فراغ sweet. She space فراغ sweets. Number 1 like, number 2 don't like, number 3 doesn't like. Number 1 like, number 2 don't like, number 3 doesn't like. Questions 9. What does space فراغ like? What does space فراغ like? Number 1 I, number 2 she, number 3 we. Number 1 I, number 2 she, number 3 we. Question 10. What do space فراغ like? What do space فراغ like? We have here do. Number 1 your choices. 1 you, number 2 she, number 3 he. Number 1 you, number 2 she, number 3 he. Choose the word. Questions 11. Choose the word that has sound kla. Choose the word that has sound kla. Number 1 gloves, number 2 slide, number 3 cloud. Number 1 gloves, number 2 slide, number 3 clouds. Question 12. Choose the word that has sound gla. Choose the word that has sound gla. Gla. Number 1 clock, number 2 slippers, number 3 gloves. Number 1 clock, number 2 slippers, number 3 gloves. Number 1 clock, number 2 slippers, number 3 gloves. Here's question 13. I'm give you a sentence and I want from you get understand the meaning. سوف أعطيك جملة وأريد أن أفهم هل أنت فهمت معنى هذه الجملة. Draw and color a picture on the front of the card. Draw and color a picture on the front of the card. That means you draw in the what? You draw in the what? Number 1 cake, number 2 card, number 3 cup. Number 1 cake, number 2 card, number 3 cup. Okay, is that clear? Questions 14. Find the long form. Find the long form. Number 1, I do not like fish. I do not like fish. Number 2, I don't like fish. Number 2, I don't like fish. Number 3, I doesn't like fish. Number 3, I doesn't like fish. Here's we have to find in 14 long form. In 15, questions 15, find please the short form. The short form. Number 1, I do not like oranges. I do not like oranges. Number 2, she doesn't like oranges. She doesn't like oranges. 3, she does not like oranges. 3, she does not like oranges. Question 16. Choose the correct verb please. He space فراغ up at 6 o'clock. He space فراغ up at 6 o'clock. Number 1 has, number 2 goes, number 3 gets. Number 1 has, number 2 goes, number 3 gets. Question 17. He space فراغ breakfast. He space فراغ breakfast. Number 1 gets, number 2 has, number 3 goes. Number 1 gets, number 2 has, number 3 goes. Questions 18. What space فراغ the time? Do you remember what I told you about time? What space فراغ the time? What space فراغ the time? Number 1 is, number 2 are, number 3 has. Number 1 is, number 2 are, number 3 has. Questions 19. He gets up space فراغ 6 o'clock. He gets up فراغ 6 o'clock. Number 1 in, number 2 on, number 3 at. Number 1 in, number 2 on, number 3 at. Here, choose the word that has sound sta. Choose the word that has sound sta. Number 1, smile. Number 2, stairs. Number 3, sky. Number 1, smile. Number 2, stairs. Number 3, sky. Question 21. Choose the word that has sound sna. Choose the word that has sound sna. Number 1, skates. Number 2, small. Number 3, snake. Number 1, skates. Number 2, small. Number 3, skates. We have here a short paragraph and we want from you understand it and answer question 22 and 23. لدينا هنا باراجراف صغيرة وأرجو منك أن تستيعابها وإجابة السؤالين 22 و 23. In the morning, I get up at 7 o'clock. I get dressed. I have breakfast, cereal, bread, and milk. In the morning, I get up at 7 o'clock. I get dressed. I have breakfast, cereal, bread, and milk. She gets up at o'clock. She gets up فراغ o'clock. What's the time it was? 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9. 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9. Question 23, please. In the morning, again the same paragraph. In the morning, I get up at 7 o'clock. I get dressed. I have breakfast, cereal, bread, and milk. In the morning, I get up at 7 o'clock. I get dressed. I have a breakfast, cereal, bread, and milk. She has breakfast. Number 1, cereal, bread, and juice. Cereal, bread, and juice. Number 2, cereal, bread, and water. Cereal, bread, and water. Number 3, cereal, bread, and milk. Cereal, bread, and milk. Here's choose the correct sentence, match with the pictures. Look at the pictures. Number 1, in the morning. Number 2, in the afternoon. Number 3, at night. Number 1, in the morning. Number 2, in the afternoon. Number 3, at night. Questions 25, and this is the last questions. Choose the correct sentence match with the pictures. Choose the correct sentence match with the pictures. Number 1 in the morning, number 2 in the afternoon, number 3 in the evening. Number 1 in the morning, number 2 in the afternoon, number 3 in the evening. Wish you good luck. Do your best with my wishes. Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask me in WhatsApp. Thank you.